Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Hello. We're back. It is me, Michael. I'm with Victor.
Howdy.
And Juan today.
Hello.
And we've all been playing. We were just actually discussing some of the spells that, and some of the things that Wormstooth had added in. And Victor, you said you noticed a few things?
Yeah, well, I that's my fault for not reading all the mod descriptions, but there's a few things in this game that I've never seen before, and they're now that you mentioned all those new things in Wormstooth, I'm wondering if maybe that's where they're from. I was in I'll remember what dungeon it was soon, but there were ethereal dragons, which look like they're built on the same model as the ice wraiths. And those were kind of cool. They dropped 2 fire salts each.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know if those were from Wormstooth or where.
I think they may be, actually.
Okay.
Because I know it does add a few dragons in.
Well, where this is in a it's the Shroud Hearth Barrow. Is that the one in Iverstead?
Just above.
Yeah. So there's a spot in there where you're sneaking or you're coming through, and I think you go down a spiral stair, and you get to a spot where usually there's a ton of skeletons, and they're hanging out in a pool of fuel under some hanging torches, and you just shoot the torches down, and they all explode, and that's the end of it. Well, I didn't even look over the edge like I usually do. I just shot the thing, and I hear this swishing going on down there. I think, what the heck's that? And I look down, there's a whole mess of these ethereal dragons. Didn't go at all, of course.
Wow.
And I'm playing on Master, so we had to go down there. I was down there with I've got Janassa and Goldier, who is from the Hilgrun's Tomb quest.
Oh yes, him. Yeah.
He's kind of cool guy. This is the first time in a long time that I've made it through that quest without killing him. So I thought I'd celebrate by bringing him along.
Yeah, bring him on.
Yeah. So
I still have. I'm still rolling with Lydia. I just got her a Daedric helmet to go with her. What's that stuff the bandit chiefs wear? And I can't remember. Ancient Nordic, is that what it is? The heavy Nordic gear that the bandit chiefs always wear. Is that Ancient Nordic or
the one with the bear helmet?
Yeah, Nordic, I think so.
Nordic steel, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so I have her in that with some with a Daedric helmet, all enchanted up. But we're in the final stages of the main Wormstooth quest.
Oh, cool!
And it's kind of in I went through a cave a Nordic ruin first, and now I'm kind of in a Blackreach type area.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah, I had her for a while, but she died early on. I'm afraid.
She just died on me because she's running with a staff of fireballs and a staff of lightning and all kinds of. I have her loaded up with staffs and stuff, but she must. I have there's 4 people that follow you along the main quest. And she must have hit one of them, and they all started attacking her and killing
I love
her.
That when that happened. That's so funny.
Yeah. So that created a bit of a problem. I was like, no, we're not losing Lydia. No.
Yeah, I let her go in this one. Another one of the mods I'm using gives followers depending on certain things, a 5 or 10% chance of dying, even if they're marked as essential, I guess. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
And she pulled the short stick, I guess. So, the 10%. So I lost her, but
yeah, I lost her, but then I died right after that anyway, so it really didn't matter.
Okay. That's always convenient. Yeah, that's a convenient way of making it work.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
I've been dying a lot on this little last run here. It's tough, and I think I have it set on Master.
Yeah, I like Master better than Legendary. It's a little less,
a little bit forgiving at least.
Yeah. I admit that Goldier and Janassa also Also in Shroud Hearth Barrow, there's a spot there where you go up some stairs, and then there's some of those swinging axes.
Oh yeah.
And I Fusro-da'd them right into the axes, and they both died. So by mistake, I hit the wrong because I changed my keys around.
Oh god.
I hit the wrong key, and then everybody went into the axes. So.
Oh man.
So I reloaded from there. That was I thought, sorry, excuse me, a little bit of gas there.
Yeah.
So.
That's a key error. It doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of charas down here. It's just it's actually pretty good. When you first enter the main barrow, the Worm's Tooth Barrow, it's actually that opening room from what's the barrow above Riverwood that you go to in the beginning?
That's the not Shroud. Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, the very first one you go to. You know.
Yeah.
It's like the same opening room basically with a few things taken out of it.
Oh, cool.
So I think I can tell. I hit areas where I can tell that they reused some stuff, but yeah, they've changed it up a little bit and it looks pretty good.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't played it. I mean, it looks like it opens up a little bit like Helgen Reborn does, where you have to recruit people and bring them back to stuff. But I'm sure it's a totally different story.
Yeah, I have and the best is they follow you back to the mainland too.
Nice.
Because I had to go back to dump off all I had, 15 dragon bones or something crazy.
Yeah.
And I had to go back to get rid of them, and they all came with me. So
nice.
I have an army of 5 people plus I can conjure 3 things.
Oh, nice.
So I haven't built any bone men or skeleton warriors in a while because of I noticed when I took them certain places they would just disappear.
Huh.
So I kind of I think I have enough people here. I have 8 at once usually. So I kind of just sit back, I conjure and watch everybody battle and try not to get hit by stray arrows because I put nothing into health, so I'll die immediately.
Yeah. I've been trying to decide where I'm going to take this character. You know, he's kind of a merchant, but also a bit of a badass. So he's I have to add that in so he can actually do his fighting. I've branched it. We'll get into this later, but with Mod Organizer, I cloned 3 copies of the same game, so I'm trying different branches.
Oh, nice.
And I took him down because I thought, well, he wants lots of money. He wants to buy stuff and invest in real estate and all this trade routes and stuff like that. And so I thought, well, it might be good to do the Baron Zaya quest, but I started into it and it didn't feel right for him.
Yeah.
The Thieves Guild and everything else. So
that didn't work. Yeah.
Not really. No, I should can that. And
honestly, you get so many gems out of that. I'm not even picking up gems that aren't flawless anymore. There's so many.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and it must take a long time to actually get them all. So, I mean, it's because there's some quest-related ones. I mean, the first thing I did was I went in there, did the first, a couple of things with the Thieves Guild, so I could trigger the map,
yeah,
the map thing, right? And so then the nearest one that's to Riften is the one over at the Blackbriar Lodge.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Well, okay, I'll go do that. But of course, you have to, if you're not going to trigger the quest, you have to either break in or kill somebody outside who has a key, and then so I went prancing through the place with Janessa and Goldir killing all the mercenaries while I was running around looking for the stupid gem.
Looking for the gem.
And I felt kind of foolish doing it, and I thought, this just isn't working well, so I stopped that branch.
Yeah, that was it was a bit tedious going around and getting them all, and it is good for Ordinator if you have the higher level enchanting perks, because those flawless gems, you can add them to the enchanting.
I noticed that. I saw that perk. Yeah, that looks really cool.
So that is nice. I have that, and I'm trying. Where am I at? Am I at 100 yet? I'm at 97. So my next one is going to be that very top level one where you get one item with 3 enchantments on it that are 50% stronger.
Let me see where that's.
The pickpocket perk has a really nice in Ordinator as well. It's called Dragon Horde.
Oh, really?
Whenever you sleep with 50,000 or more gold in your inventory, you can choose to spend it to purchase a perk point.
Oh, wow,
nice.
really? Nice.
Yeah. That's cool because I rarely ever, even in the vanilla game, I never put any perks into pickpocket or lock picking because, well, actually, lock picking there's a couple that have nothing to do with picking locks, but
the ones that give you more carry weight.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, I have to explore some of those trees. I really like the enchanting one, and I set up the arcane nexus and.
Yeah, I've been looking at that. That's the miracle perk way up the top of the
Yeah,
tree
the miracle.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm waiting for. I'm going to do a new set of robes because right now I have the Archmage's robes on.
Uh-huh.
So I figured that would be best for a set of robes, I would think, or a set of boots where I did fire, frost, and shock protection or something.
So that's like a one-time deal. The miracle.
Yeah, miracle you can only do once, from what I gather.
Yeah, try as you might, you will never be able to repeat this feat. Yeah,
I wonder if you go legendary though, if you can.
I don't know. Does the legendary, reboot work on Ordinator?
Let me see. I thought it did.
It must. I would think he would have built that in.
I get 100. I have 100 in conjuration, I believe. It doesn't show. I thought it did show that. Yes, it gives me the option to go legendary in
cool.
conjuration.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
so I guess technically you could build through the game a couple times and have. If you're going to play a character super long term, that's a lot of perks to have to get. But
yeah, that's why I use the uncapper, and I give myself like 1.5 perks, so I gain an extra one, I have it set to 1.25, so I get an extra perk every 3 years.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
4 levels. And that helps with that, and I don't have to use the legendary to redo things.
Well, the legendary would come in handy with the enchanting because then you could do miracle more than once.
Oh, right, okay, but you'd have to sort of grind your way back up to the top of it again.
Yeah, but enchanting, for me, it would actually go pretty quickly, especially with the Baron Zaya.
Oh, right,
because I would have so many gems, and I could make so many, whatever necklaces, all that stuff.
Yeah,
that
insanely powerful stuff.
Yeah, really expensive things, and that would allow it to grow quickly. That would allow me to level up enchanting very quickly.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a way where you could do multiple, multiple miracles. I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. I'm also playing with a new version of. It's by the same modder who does all kinds of cool mods. I think it's a woman, Cryptopeer, but she's brought out a cooking and alchemy mod, a new mod, and I'm using that. But it really changes around a lot of the complete alchemy and cooking overhaul, it's called. It changes around a lot of stuff, and it took away my favorite recipe for low level grinding of alchemy, which is the hanging moss and blue mountain flower, which makes it really good. It's a really good potion too, because it's a damage magicka regen potion.
Oh, so, that one, yeah,
it's really good. So, but it took it away.
Oh, did it? Oh, man.
There's all kinds of other good stuff in there, but so now I have to sort of relearn my my alchemy, which is fun. It's cool to do. That's a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, because that one's that one levels you up pretty quickly. That potion.
Yeah, it's worth like 250. So
yeah, even at a base level, it's worth a good bit. So
yeah, and it's a blue mountain flower in particular is a ubiquitous component. So you can find a lot of the stuff and just sort of.
There's no shortage of that.
I was using for a long time. I was using another alchemy mod called Alchemy Redone, which is highly recommended. It's a great mod. It adds all kinds of really cool sort of medieval style. What would you call them? not alchemists, but I guess it is anyway, stuff like, um, metals and things like that, and sulfur and all kinds of cool components. Wow. And you can craft not just a mortar and pestle, but a retort and all kinds of, and a crucible, nice. And all kinds of cool stuff like that. It's worth looking into. Alchemy Redone is a lot of fun. And you can make some super powerful potions once you get up high enough.
Sounds like it would go good with the reverse pickpocket.
Yeah, you probably could. I haven't done that, so I don't know. But I usually make magicka and health, powerful magic and health potions. But explosives. Well, one thing that this new cooking and alchemy mod has added are that I haven't used in other mods before are little bombs. You can make bombs. There's grenades. I can't find it right now.
Oh wow, that's nice.
That's kind of cool. I'd have to go to a stove. I'm not anywhere near where I can get to a stove or a cook fire to look at the recipes. But yeah, I remember seeing it the other day.
Oh, if you could reverse pickpocket bombs, that would be a good time.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, look, I don't think that would be too immersion breaking either. Little packets that explode or little,
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have fire arrows and stuff like that already, it's not inconceivable that they would have discovered, black powder. I think,
or some kind of other alchemic or some other way of causing,
yeah. So, but for the drooling masses, the black powder rather than magic or alchemy, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned I think it was before we started recording. So some of these spells that Worm's Tooth added were Conjure Dragon Priest, Conjure Draugr Death Lord, Conjure Draugr Scourge, Conjure Draugr White. Let's see. I don't know. No, that's original. It's original. Ice Volley, which is a volley of frozen shards that do 50 points of damage and twice as much stamina damage. Night Eye, which is something from Oblivion, basically, added in. Fade Other, which I haven't tried yet. Your target becomes invisible for 30 seconds.
Nice.
So I'm not sure why you would want your target to become invisible, but there must be some kind of reason for it.
Yeah, it sounds good anyway.
Yeah. Transmogrify? Wait, or is that an original?
That's right out of Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah. Turns a low-level enemy into a harmless creature for 30 seconds. So basically it's a Wabbajack spell, essentially. Yeah. Ease Burden, which is nice. That adds 100 carry weight for 60 seconds. That was definitely something in Oblivion that I used used constantly as I was running around. That was one of those that was always there. Let's see. A restoration, were there any there? Cure disease, cure poison spells. Again, they were both in Oblivion. So I think there's a lot of callbacks to Oblivion with the some of the spells, which is cool.
Nice. Yeah, another mod that I added to this load order that I'd never really used. I think I had it in one other game, but I never got around to using it. It's called, and it's been updated relatively recently. It's called Thunderchild, and it's a shout. It's a Thum mod, which is really cool. It adds a whole sort of, I guess you could call it a mini quest line to the Thum, so you once you have unlocked High Hrothgar, you bring the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller back to the Greybeards, and they initiate you. It unlocks this new area in High Hrothgar, which he calls the library, which is beautifully built. It's using the same assets, but then there's a room in there with a beautifully made statue of Kine.
Oh wow!
And so you worship Kine as the god or goddess or whatever, and you pray to Kine and you meditate to learn new shouts. But one of the cool things about the shouts is that they're basically just built with the same words of power, but in different combinations. So he or she isn't adding a lot of bizarre stuff. It's all very lore friendly. And like for instance, there's one called Phantom Decoy, which is I forget which words you already have that you get that with. There's a new one called Armageddon. Calls down fires from the heaven, but it uses like the first word of the whirlwind shout.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun. There's three little mini quests that allow you to unlock the first, second, and third words. One of them you have to jump off someplace using your whirlwind sprint shout and fall for 4 seconds before dying, and Kine will catch you if you fall for 4 seconds and bring you back to High Hrothgar.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and that unlocks something. You have to grab the Kine's fire at the bottom of the 7,000 steps there in Iverstadt and run all the way to the top without running out of stamina or health. That's another one. I haven't been able to do that yet. That's hard.
That seems pretty difficult to run all the way.
Yeah. So the first thing I did with that was I read all the monuments so that you get what is it called, Voice of the Sky or something, where the animals don't attack you. So at least you can run up without being attacked, but it's still hard to get up there. So.
What if you use the one of the spells that uses your magicka instead of health?
Won't allow you to.
Oh, you can't even do that.
He thought of that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can't take potions once you start running. You can't take potions or anything. You can't stuff.
Yeah, that stops you if you do, right? Yeah. Wow. That makes it incredibly difficult. How do you accomplish that?
Well, he starts you out with good stamina.
Okay.
But which will last a while, but it won't last all the way up. So you have to take enough boost potions at the beginning so that when you start to run out towards the top, you don't run all the way out.
So you still have.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm going to try to do it, straight up and not cheat too much on it. Just wait till my alchemy is high enough that I can make some really good potions.
Really powerful, yeah.
Right before you start, and then if they last longer if they don't last 60 seconds or longer than 60 seconds, you're not going to make it up. Even at full sprint, you're not going to make it all the way to the top.
Yeah, that's true.
In less than 60 seconds. So.
Yeah, because that's a good distance up there.
Yep.
And what about well, it doesn't. Your stamina doesn't regenerate while you're running, right? If you increase your stamina regeneration, so that eliminates that also.
I think so. Yeah, I haven't gone that far. I'm only like level 12 right now, so I'll get around to that eventually. The easy one was jumping off a high spot, so I did.
Yeah, falling for 4 seconds though is pretty far in this game.
It is. Yeah, I went to the highest point you can get before you unlock the top of the mountain there.
Oh yeah,
and jumped off that. And just barely made it.
Oh, is that where you do the whirlwind sprint through the gates for them or something? Is that?
Yeah, actually, it was. I think I went a little higher than that. There's a spot. I was going to go to the top of the tower, but I tried a spot just near that first, and it worked. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because those spots are pretty darn high.
Yeah.
So you can't even go to like Bard's Leap or anything either.
I didn't try. Yeah. Probably not. I don't think that's 4 seconds.
Yeah.
High.
I mean, it's high, but it's not as high as Hrothgar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's wow. Yeah.
And the last one is touch the sky from the highest point in Skyrim. So obviously I can't do that until I unlock the top of the mountain.
Oh, yeah, you have to get to the very top of the mountain.
Yeah, figure out how to do that.
So you have to do the main quests when running this mod.
Yeah. Well, I intended to anyway, so
it worked out well.
That's why I threw it in there. And with Worm's Tooth and all the dragon stuff in that too. I wanted to play it as Dragonborn.
Okay. Yeah, Worm's Tooth is definitely a good continuation of your Dragonborn story.
Yeah.
because it's weaved into it.
Yeah.
And what did you say the name of this mod was?
It's called Thunderchild.
Thunderchild.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's what it's called. Let me look. Hang on a second here.
Let me see what I have here.
Yeah, Thunderchild Shouts. It's called.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So
That sounds like an interesting one to try.
yeah, I should try it. What else did I load into this game that's fun? New-ish. Well, that complete cooking and arch and alchemy overhaul is definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
Claralux, which is a mod by I can't remember the guy's name. He did a couple of big War Zones is his biggest big mod. My Good Eye. My Good Eye was also, I don't know if any of you guys know Dynavision. It's like it allows you to fart around with depth of field and stuff outside of using an ENB. He wrote that long time ago with Gopher. And let's see, I'm using Disparity in this, which is a races and racial diversity mod. Allows you to give your PC traits and things like that. Sort of like more like old style role playing game traits and stuff. And you can select a class for your character.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I have heard some complaints about how they got rid of the class system when they went into Skyrim, and a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it, because in like Oblivion, there was a bit of a class, and I think more so in Morrowind, right?
Yeah, definitely more in Morrowind, but yeah, Oblivion you were still locked in a bit too.
Yeah, but you could actually stray away from it.
Yeah,
it just wouldn't add to your
Yeah, you had those minor
level.
skills and major skills and.
Yeah, I think initially this is what I loved the most about Skyrim was the fact that it got rid of all that crap that I felt was really limiting over years and years of messing with it, both in computer games and role playing games and stuff. But after a while, you sort of want to get back to being able to really finesse your character, and classes and stuff help with that a lot. So.
Right, because I mean the one nice thing about having classes is you can specialize in certain things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's true. You become more focused. Yeah, I think not having the classes allows the game to open up more for general play, but down the road, it's nice to be able to, have the classes to play different styles and feel completely different.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you've played like 1,500 hours of it, or 16 different characters. Yeah, you need something to make it a little.
I guess it's hard for them to plan for that, huh?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What are we going to do in 4 years when everybody is playing?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that like a lot of their past games, people just have played over and over, but I don't think developers sit there and think beyond like the first playthrough, I guess, or maybe even the third or fourth playthrough, just because like in Skyrim, I mean, you can join almost all the factions, but there's certain things that you can and can't do depending on how you do things. So there is that need to play it a couple more times just so you can see the different options. Where I guess with a lot of games that are more linear, you don't have as many options.
Yeah, I mean Bethesda's really good at leaving options, but I think they're probably not as good at branching options as perhaps maybe like BioWare is. I don't know. They're more. Seems like Bethesda is more about you can go anywhere you want in this world, explore anything you want, and we'll give you a structure for that. But everything else is pretty much up to you. Whereas like in BioWare and also like the CD Projekt Red games, especially Witcher 3, there's a lot of consequences to things you say and do, a lot more than you find in Bethesda games.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that's lacking is the consequences
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
doing
definitely.
certain things. I think we saw it a little bit more in Fallout 4. Joining a different faction affects you, but in Skyrim, a lot of times it's like, well, you're a member of the Thieves Guild, you're a member of the Dark Brotherhood, you're on the you're a member of the Stormcloaks, as well as being a companion, and you're the head of the the Mages Guild,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
all at the same time.
Yeah, the only one that has some consequences is, joining, Stormcloaks or Elite Imperials, and then,
Right.
that affects you within the
Yeah.
Civil War, but that's about it.
I mean, I suspect that. Well, I was going to say that might be why they structured Fallout 4 the way they did to sort of get away from that. But of course, I mean, Fallout 3 and New Vegas had fewer factions in them as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So that's more the structure of the game.
Yeah, I do like that in that you have a choice, and, it does have consequences. You can't just wander around with everybody from every faction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the trouble with many branches like that is that when you do go back to replay things and try to make a different outcome, it's hard to remember what the hell you did.
That is true. That is true.
So you end up sort of falling back on your normal reactions, things that you would do in real life or whatever, and then you end up with the same damn outcome.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
I'm running into that with Witcher 3 right now. I've never finished the game, but I played a lot of it on my PC, and it was on sale for the PlayStation, so I bought it. It was like less than $20, and I thought, and I'm finding it actually a lot easier to play in terms of the mechanics of the game with the controller.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember what the hell I did and how I got one thing to happen or not.
Yeah. So how are you going to get a different outcome if you don't?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the game is pretty big too, right?
It's huge. It's immense.
So,
yeah.
I mean, depending on how far along you were on the PC, I mean, it's like starting over.
Yeah, totally.
Because I know if I was to start Dragon Age Inquisition again, I wouldn't. I'd be like it'd be like starting over because I put like a few hundred hours just in that game alone, and I haven't even finished that main quest in that game yet.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, my daughter plays a lot of Inquisition. She loves it, but she's a huge BioWare fan, so she
Yeah.
plays Mass Effect and Dragon Age. The other thing that I not to overdo the mod part of this, but since we're all playing on PCs right now, I've started playing with this thing called Dindulod, and it's pretty cool. So if anybody wants to give it a shot, it's not as daunting as it seems. It's the Dynamic Distant Object (LOD) generator, and what it does is it creates new, slightly more detailed and more distant load on distant objects, what they call, I think they call them billboards, I'm not sure, but anyway, so that distant trees, how sometimes the distant just look like sort of blobs of color, especially in the Rift, and stuff like that, and it generates this whole new set of these and then displays them dynamically, and it really makes the game look better. It's a small detail. It doesn't really affect performance a whole lot, but it does take a fair amount of reading of instructions and fussing and
to be able to get it to go.
And you have to use TS5 edit and stuff like that to run it. It's a big long script, and it took me, like, when I set it to run, it took about an hour and a half to actually generate everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it took a long time.
And how long? How do you spell that?
DyndoLOD. There's several tutorials for it up on the web, but you need to learn how to use TS5 edit and stuff. It helps if you know how to use Mod Organizer, but you don't have to have Mod Organizer to use Vindalot. It just makes certain things easier to test if you have it, because you can create discrete.
I don't know. I've been using Mod Organizer since I started, and honestly, I can't see not using it.
No, I agree. It's a great tool.
Uh,
So, and but anyway, Vindalot is pretty cool, and it helped me discover some other stuff. So that's why I sort of brought it up. Uh, if you try it, and it's hard to break the game with it, you can always just delete the files. Just don't. If you do decide to use it, anybody who's listening, make yourself a hard save somewhere and go from there, and don't save your game until you're certain that Dindalot's going to work for you. So that because once you've saved a game, once you've baked it into a save, it's impossible to get rid of it.
Wow.
Without starting over. I mean, like a lot of big mods like that, it's just not good to delete it after baking it into a save. Anyway, have you guys ever experienced the stuttering especially when you're like riding horses and stuff? You got these little micro stutters.
Yeah.
So I've had it before, and so this time I thought, well, it's got to be Dindalot. This just screwed me up again. God damn it! So I started. That's what I decided to clone this game several times with and without Dindalot loaded, and didn't seem to have any. So I started, and it's a very simple thing. I didn't realize. I started running around with and without horses, and it was only doing it on the horse. It's the distant object setting in your Skyrim launcher.
Oh.
If you set that back from ultra to high or medium,
it'll be smoother.
It goes away. Yeah.
Huh.
So is it because you travel so much faster on a horse?
Well, at first I thought it was because I was using this mod called Convenient Horses, where you can set the horse travel speed a little higher, and I didn't really blow it out or anything. I only set it like 5% up. And I thought, well, that's got to be it. It's because it's loading stuff, a little too far ahead. But I set that back to 0 and it didn't do a darn thing. So I started looking around on the web, and somebody suggested the distance. So it's in your like Skyrim launcher, advanced, and there's lots of sliders in that advanced setting where you can change how things load. But there's a little drop down menu on the bottom right there. And if you set that down from ultra to high or even medium, and especially if you're using something like Dindalot, which is why I also brought it up, is once that's loaded, it loaded all of its new distant objects in, you can set your distant object setting back to medium and it'll still look good.
Oh, okay.
So the other thing that Dindalot does is, for instance, there's a couple other mods that do this too, but Dindalot loads it'll make all your distant waterfalls animate.
Oh,
so
nice.
Wow. So this is what looks like icicles way in the distance there. They actually look good. It throws in like somewhat more detailed buildings in the far distance and buildings that aren't in the vanilla game that are there, but like inns and stuff. If you stand on one of the mountains in the tundra there, you can see bits of Rorikstead that you can't see any, or you can see that fort that's up on the hill there above Rorikstead. There's all kinds of cool stuff that it adds. It's really nice. But anyway, so the distant object setting will take away your little micro stutters.
Okay. So
that makes sense.
The micro stutters, is that like all the time, or is it?
For me, it was only when I was traveling on a horse.
But well, yeah, I know. But I mean, is it while you're continuously while you're on the horse, or? Because I know that it seems like even though there's no load screens, there seem to be like grids in the game, and
yeah, you're passing through cells. Yeah.
So I was wondering if it was just as you were passing through, exiting one and going into the next, that it would do that, or is it like a continuous thing, just kind of randomly happening?
I don't know, but it had a certain rhythm to it, and now I don't know if that was. I think it was a little bit shorter than cells. But I think cells are like 4,600 by 4,600 units, but I don't know how big the units are.
Yeah,
and
it's hard to know. In
yeah,
Skyrim, it's a little bit tougher to know when you're entering and exiting certain cells. Because I
yeah.
know in Oblivion it was a little bit easier because sometimes you would like cross a certain point and the music would change.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I never noticed that.
huh.
Yeah, well, you know where the castle for a fighter is
Yeah.
in Skyrim, and then if you travel down that road, and as you're entering into that major settlement right there, as you hit the dip, the music changes.
Hmm. I never noticed that.
Yeah, it could be a cell or it could be a region. Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how big the cells are, but yeah, on the horse it does seem to have a bit of a rhythm to it. So it'll every X number of units the horse goes, there'll be a little sort of a triple microstutter, da da da, and then another one, da da da.
wow.
Driving me crazy. I thought it was scripts, So the other thing that very cool, by the way, that Convenient Horses has, if you're using the mod configuration menu that Sky UI and SKSE add in. Convenient Horses has a thing called a script latency tester, and it's built into the mod. You can set it on, and it will give you a running visual display of how your scripting is doing and tell you how many milliseconds of latency there is. And I tested that, and it was perfect. It was like well below 50, which is optimal. So it's not scripting. It's definitely like you were saying, Juan. It's definitely moving from cell to cell and loading stuff. So, but anyway,
Well, I mean, at least just that little tweak to the settings fixes it, or at least helps it.
seems
Um,
to, yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, it is really annoying. Like, even sometimes when you're in the middle of a battle and all of a sudden your frame rate just goes
Yeah.
and it stutters and you're just like ah.
That could be scripting because
Right.
especially in big battles with the game is running a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I got it more on the 360 than I have on the PC. Um, so having a better processor and video card definitely helps a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. I was it could also be to some extent hardware. So there were some people who were saying that uh, they had these 980 Ti's, which are beast graphics cards, but for some reason with the 980s, there's something about them that makes it necessary for them to set that setting back to medium because not because the 980 isn't powerful enough, but I don't know, some weird shit, which didn't apply to me because I don't have a 980. So it could be, it's all, sometimes it's engine related or game engine or hardware. But, so anyway,
Now,
so
what kind of character are you playing this time?
Oh, my character, he is a currently. Well, he started out as a mage, and I've kind of switched gears and gone more towards a sneaky archer assassin, just kind of like my old original game style, but really focusing on the pickpocketing and doing
Yeah.
as much training as I can on that because I want to. I want to do the reverse pickpocketing once I enter the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah,
And
I've always wanted to do that, and I always find it so hard to get my both pickpocketing and alchemy up high enough where it becomes easy to kill someone.
yeah, because at the higher level you go, then your enemies get pretty high level as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Because it's a lot easier. It's just so much easier as an archer to get everything powerful enough where you're one shotting. Because my one character that I played, as an archer assassin, and basically when I was in the Dark Brotherhood, he would just, it's like, okay, the contract is for this person, and that would be the only person he would kill, and then he would disappear. Even like when he had to kill the vampire couple,
Oh
um,
yeah,
he
at
he
the
actually
mill.
waited.
Yeah.
He actually waited for the wife to go in the door before killing the target. That way, he didn't have to kill the other person.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, and that was the way I played that character, and it's really easy as an archer because even at higher difficulties, you can still one shot a lot of enemies.
Yeah, especially with the 15 times and all that.
Right, with the sneak perks and also with the archery perks, and then you also build up your smithing, and so you end up with a legendary weapon, and you could even poison the tip if you wanted to just add even more
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
more damage, and you're you're one shotting an individual.
yeah. There's so many things you can do. Yeah, and it's easy not to kill the other. But yeah, with the
Right.
reverse pickpocket, if you don't get all those potions in there that are high enough level to kill them, then you have a battle,
Right,
and it creates a whole.
and it's up close and personal. I mean, you're
Yeah,
right on that person, so your sneak has to be high enough and everything. So I think it'll be a fun challenge once I get up there. Right now, I think I have my pickpocket up to 42 because I've been going to Viper the Fleet and doing training every level. So I do my 5 trainings with him once I reach the level, and he is a master trainer, so I get I can train with him all the way up to like level 90 or 92. I can't remember
oh, is
exactly
that
what
how
it
far up?
is.
Oh, wow.
Nice, nice. So you find you put more than one potion, you reverse pickpocket more than one potion. Do they
I
stack
I
like that?
I have not gotten up to that point.
Oh, okay.
I think that's going to be the next perk that I take because first I'm going through the Thieves Guild so that I can level up high enough and actually have everything ready once I enter the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah.
So that way you're fully ready to go.
Yeah, it's I'm doing the long con because I find that when I have an idea like this, I've started to I plan ahead instead of just going in and just okay, I just want to accomplish, I want to join the Thieves Guild or join the Dark Brotherhood and do this. And but when I have a little bit more tricky type plan like this, I have to really plan my character um, before I even start doing what I actually want to do. So it's kind of a little bit grindy, but I try to make it fun by like I said, this time I'm doing the Thieves Guild, and may do the Mages Guild if I have to go a little higher, and I can work on my alchemy while I'm in the Mages Guild.
While you're there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a really fun way to go.
Cool.
It's definitely something because I love the sneaking, and I love, I miss doing that back in the
Right.
day. And
Yeah.
my
Well,
first character
I
was
mean,
definitely heavy double daggers and all.
yeah. And I always think back to your Iron Man
Oh,
character
you know what?
because
That was Connor's been playing him.
Oh, really? Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, it took you a while before you were actually just you learned all these little tips and tricks. You had to build up certain trees and everything just to get to that point where you were. Because I
Yep.
remember in the beginning, I mean, it was a tough battle.
Yeah, when you're just using iron daggers, as you're leveling up the enemies, yeah, it's not as easy as you would,
Yeah, I
especially in
have
the
to think
vanilla
about
game. Yeah.
creating a character that's all sort of inspired by your Iron Man guy. That's a sort of a hunter that only uses leather and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that way it's kind of like a traditional, where
Yeah.
they wouldn't have anything other than the basics, and That was yeah. At some point, the Iron Daggers just don't do enough.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have that little bit of focus so that when it comes time to making decisions on what you're going to do, you're like, okay, I know that I need to build this up, so this is where I'm going. I'm going to put this point here, put this point here. It gives you a little bit more direction as to where you drop all your perk points and
Yeah, yeah,
a lot of the choices that you make as well.
yeah. You have to really think about it before you do it. That way, you're not really wasting any perks.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than wasting perks.
Yes, yeah, it's true. It's true. I tend to save them until I know what I want to put them into.
Yeah, especially early on when you're sort of leveling fairly fast, you can sort of
Yeah, because you're just leveling so quickly in the beginning that you can go down a path and not realize you're like, ugh, I've just spent like 2 perks that I'm not really going to use in the future.
Yeah.
So
That's why the uncapper is nice if you can get it running. We had some trouble getting it running. I think Colin had some trouble when he tried using it, but it's a nice little addition to a load order. And it doesn't have to be overpowered. I mean, you could conceivably grant yourself 5 perks per level or something ridiculous. Like that.
Something absurd.
But if you do it in decent fractions, it's nice. Which was it was Spurg that granted you 1 perk per tree at the very beginning of the game, and then Spurg is sort of based on the use of the uncapper, and it comes with its own custom uncapper setting, which only gives you 1 perk per every 2 levels or something like that. So
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a little more.
Yeah, but I mean the nice thing about Spurg also is it kind of did like the Oblivion thing where you reach a level, you reach a certain skill level on a tree, and it unlocks a perk there anyways.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Very much so. Yeah, Spurg
So
is great.
yeah, so it does balance out a little bit.
Oh yeah, it does. It's well thought out. I just got so enamored of Ordinator that I haven't really used anything else. I've actually caught myself thinking I might try Percus Maximus again, but what a bloated thing that is.
Yeah, I think you've spoken about.
I've expressed my opinions of it. So.
Yeah, it's been nice now that I knocked it down to just Ordinator because it seemed like Spurg and Ordinator there was one that made them work together, but it still didn't seem to work as well as just running Ordinator by itself or just running Spurg by itself.
Yeah, that seems kind of. I mean, it's not a disservice or anything. It's certainly cool to try, but with these guys, really, I think we spent a lot of time thinking those 2 mods out and using one or the other. By the way, there's not to digress too much to another game, but there's a guy who's building a new perk thing for Fallout 4 right now.
Huh.
He's been posting videos of his progress.
Huh.
So
nice.
I'm not really dissatisfied with the Fallout 4.
No, it took some getting used to, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard somebody mention, and it seems like a good idea, is if you could spend some type of money or whatever to remove some perks that you used and put them somewhere else, because it's really easy to sit there and make a mistake and say, oh, you know what, this looks really interesting, and it's great in the beginning, and then later on you're just like, maybe I should not have taken that.
Yeah,
it's true. It'd give you that option to go back.
Right, because even like let's say like the idiot savant perk, it's great in the beginning as you're building up your character, but a lot of times you want to build up your intelligence and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, because I know that I mean with Skyrim they did the thing where you could go legendary on something, and that definitely helps you to redistribute a lot of the stuff. And even when they did the what was it? after you beat Mirak.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where you can
can also-
completely
yeah. So
I like that better than the legendary thing.
I do too. Yeah, because once you get through there, you can go back there as many times as you want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I do like that because you can just reorganize the perks however you want, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way I think they added that because it's the kind of thing that should have been in the original game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And it's nice that they added a lot of that stuff with the what was that, Dragonborn?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Dragonborn, and with the Black Books, a lot of that stuff that you could add to it that really it should have been in the game, like not hurting your followers
Yeah.
or
Yeah. I need the your followers don't hurt your other followers so they don't kill each other perk. That's
yeah, those are pretty bad, especially because I know that I've had a few different followers, and then like, and this was in the vanilla game on the Xbox where I had one follower plus I had the what was it called, the little Reekling. I had a Reekling warrior with me,
yeah.
and then I would conjure up two Dremora lords, and all of a sudden my Reekling would be fighting with the Dremora lords because they would accidentally hit each other.
Oh god.
Because the Reekling warrior's aim is horrible.
Oh, so he always, yeah.
Yeah.
Accidentally hit. Well, yeah, I have, because Lydia's using the staff of fireballs, and those things blow up everywhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, she always accidentally hits somebody, so.
Yeah.
I forget which follower I had that seemed like she was the most sensitive to that sort of thing. I can't. Was it Uthgerd or?
It would have to be Uthgerd because I think she is a bit of a hothead.
Yeah. It's like always getting in fights with somebody.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them are like that. They just don't like to get hit by your follower, by another follower.
Yeah.
You can hit them on your own accidentally once or twice or whatever, and they're just like, just don't do that. I'm on your side or whatever, you know. But I mean, they get a little nick from one of the other followers, and then it's
it's all over,
game on. It's fight.
Yeah, and you gotta if you don't if you want it to stop, you can try fast traveling and stuff. There's console commands you can try that sometimes work. If you can get them far enough apart, then you can hit one of them with the reset AI command and that'll sort of calm things down a little bit. But
yeah, but on the console you don't have that option.
Yeah, right, on the console, yeah. You have to sing Kumbaya or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only option that I had with that was I would just have to reconjure the Dremora lords.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would. Yeah, that's what I do. I have to cycle through and reconjure everyone.
Yeah. That's what we need is a Kumbaya spell. Cast that on your aggro followers, and everybody settles down, and they're all love each other again.
You have to be carrying a lute.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Have to light a campfire.
The magic lute of Kumbaya.
That's great. That would be an awesome mod. Yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
It's like the giant pacify spell.
Break it out mid battle.
I love it.
Calm everybody down. Well, I finished the main quest. It was a pretty fun battle.
The main Worm's Tooth quest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's definitely a nice follow up to the main quest.
Oh, okay. So you recommend doing it after?
Yeah, I would do it after you do your whole dragon quest.
What about gathering the mercenaries? Is that okay to sort of do those first?
Yeah, I don't see how that wouldn't. Yeah, that wouldn't really affect it because you're kind of on the path to being Dragonborn anyway, so it doesn't affect it much. But yeah, definitely it flows nicely after that, and there's a lot of nice spells and all that you get going through it. So.
And that mod's called Worm's Tooth?
Yeah, it's actually I think it was one of the most popular ones on there.
Yeah, it gets a lot of great reviews.
Yeah.
I think it's some people like it a lot better than Falscar and
I definitely did. Falscar, I will say, gives you a much larger map and more area to explore, I think.
Yeah.
But as far as interaction with the characters and stuff,
Yeah.
it's far exceeds
So Wormtooth is more on par with Helgen Reborn, which seems to be that's another really really good. That one I played through a couple times. It's a really good add-on.
Yeah, it feels real natural in the game. It doesn't feel like you're going somewhere else, you know.
Right.
Falskar is the one that you were streaming a while back.
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay.
I didn't love the end of that one either.
The big battle, yeah. That was good.
Where all of a sudden you didn't get to finish the battle. It was like, wait. I just did all this. Wait. Yeah, there's a lot of familiar areas in Worm's Tooth. Like it feels like part of Skyrim. You know, it doesn't feel like it's you're going to another island or anything.
Cool.
And it has some giant mushrooms on it. Here and there.
Right out of well, not just Morrowind, but where's the Solstheim?
Yeah, kind of. It has it's weird. It's like a combination of say Skyrim and Solstheim.
Okay.
So there's like I would assume it's supposed to be in an area kind of in between or something.
Uh-huh.
So there's some mushrooms growing, and there's some the giant mushrooms, and but it also has that Skyrim like Scotland look.
Huh.
With the forests and things like that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's a nice combination of both.
Yeah, no, I'm totally looking forward to it.
And you can talk to people and not feel like they're never going to stop talking to you. Which was one of the drawbacks in.
Falskar is terrible with that.
Yeah.
Too many notes, Mozart.
Yeah, it's like, all right, guys, let's move this quest along here, guys.
Yeah.
I gotta go do this thing.
Yeah. All right, are we done? Well, in a lot of those conversations you couldn't even skip through.
Right.
So,
I hate when you can't skip through or yeah.
Not good.
Especially if it's like if it's your like second time or third time through, it's like, okay, I know what you're gonna say. Just let me.
Yes. Yeah. You're like, all right, I already know this. Let's just get to it. I'm excited to battle some dragon priests with dragon priests. That could be fun. Oh, yeah, because I did all the... Oh, you know what? I did do all the masks already, so I forgot about that. Because I had never done that before, so it was one of the things I kind of wanted to do. I got the mod for the quest markers for the Dragon Priest masks, and did those.
Yes. Oh, so here's a question. Those markers,
Mm-hmm.
Can you load them on at any time, or is it best just to do it from the beginning?
You know, I already had one or two masks when I added it.
Okay.
And it still worked fine.
All right, that's good to know, because I think I want to do the Stones of Baron Zaya.
Yeah, you definitely need it for that. Oh my god, that quest, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you join every faction and do everything, you can do it. But by the time you get it, it's like, okay, well, I don't really need that much money anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, you get so many gems. Oh my god, there's so many gems. I have so many.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much I have right now.
I remember I managed to do it once, and all of a sudden it's like every chest, everywhere you look, it's just gems of all different ratings and everything.
Yup.
Yeah, I think that's why I like a lot of most of the playthroughs that I've started to do. I do the what's it called? Let me look at. It's the one where something merchants, dynamic merchants. So that I think that one's the one that builds up their gold.
Oh, okay.
As
I don't know that one.
As you deal with them more.
Sorry, I had to run to the door for a second there, so I missed some of that. But is that a mod, Dynamic Merchants?
Yeah, it's I think from what I read in the description is as you sell stuff to and deal with different merchants, their gold actually goes up.
Yeah, it's like I use one called Trade and Barter, which does similar things.
Okay.
But
Okay, yeah, here it is. It says that
yeah, I see it.
with this mod, the amount of gold that a merchant has depends on how much you trade with them. So buy or sell expensive items, and the merchants may have extra gold when you next visit.
That's old. That's an old mod. That's from 2012. Hasn't been updated since
Yeah.
2012. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Check. Hey, it's fine. I'm sure it's good. Check out Trade and Barter too.
Trade and barter.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's I think a little more current and also done by this Cryptopire person who did the cooking and alchemy and has done so many other awesome mods. I think that's one of her mods.
Okay. There's trade and barter, more gold, and trade and barter.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Cryptopare or
Here.
okay? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a woman. Yeah.
All right. I wonder if I could load it now and
I'd be careful of.
yeah, it scares me.
Yeah.
Maybe my next playthrough we'll give that a shot.
Yeah, she's updated that since last year sometime. Let's see if it says anything about compatibility. Yeah, something. It's the leveled lists. A lot of these mods that mess with level lists, you have to be ready to get into doing bashed patches too.
Yeah.
So watch out for that, or things will get weird. But I don't see anything in her. Oh yeah, there's another one I've never tried called Economics of Skyrim. That's something to. She's mentioning that here. That's another one to give a shot to. I think it's sort of does the same thing that the one I use called Trade Routes does. But
That sounds good because if you're doing, especially with the Baron's Eye, you have so much stuff to sell. If you can have merchants that have more.
Yeah, most of my merchants have like over 1,000 gold, which makes more sense. I guess it's not part of the balance that Bethesda wanted to put into the game, but with all the other mods that like you say, like Baron's Eye or any of these other ones, it makes a huge more sense.
Yeah, I mean the only other way to really to get that much gold is to actually do the Thieves Guild and then do all the little mini quests, all the fetch quests that they have you do, and build up all the merchants down in the what's the name of the Thieves Guild bar?
The ragged flagon down there.
Yeah, in the ragged flagon. Yeah.
The rat way.
Yeah, because in that sense, for every new vendor, they get another 1,000 gold.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Plus, then you have all your fences in various different cities.
Yeah,
too.
and they all gain 1,000 gold for each one as well as the fence that you have down in the Ratway.
Yeah. Tanila.
Yeah. And so that does give you a lot of gold, but it's a lot of work to actually go through that.
Yeah.
And then you also have to build up your speech skills so you can sell everything to everyone. And
yeah, that's true.
So I mean, I almost consider that like a lot of wasted perks.
Yeah. Well, again, I suppose it's for that type of character. It's not a wasted perk. But if you're sort of doing a broad-based game, then yeah, it's kind of
and that's the thing.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna look to add some more stuff now that I'm through Worm's Tooth. Add something else on.
Yeah.
Play through that.
Yeah, that's why. So these. That's what I sort of how I decided to build this character. That was the impetus behind this current character. Anyway, was the more merchants and selling and this trade and barter and trade routes and the real estate mod that I have loaded. They're a lot of fun. Real estate is cool too, so it's worth checking out. I don't know if it's on Steam or not.
Yeah, once I'm done with this character, I'm going to have to switch over to Nexus to get more stuff. I think that's my plan once I'm finished up with this one. Because I had started this one for the roundtable way back, and now I'm kind of enjoying rolling with it with all, my army of conjured stuff. So it's such a different way of playing for me that I just sit back and try not to get killed. Basically, everything.
Well, do you use? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Juan.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that Andrew seemed to really enjoy it as well.
Yeah, he sure did.
Because what did he say? He only got to like level 20,
he just never leveled up.
something.
Yeah, 'cause he was using a ritual stone, so he never leveled up. I haven't even actually used the ritual stone yet.
Oh wow.
I'm just rolling with my normal people here, but I may have to work the ritual stone into it too, because I had like 7 or 8 people and it wasn't bogging down at all. So
Are you using a follower mod?
No, it was because I had there was 4 followers from Worm's Tooth at once.
Oh, okay.
Plus I had Lydia, plus I had the 3 conjured, plus they were all conjuring stuff.
Oh, cool.
So at times there was.
That's what I was gonna say is you have that perk where for every few levels
250
or something.
Is it?
Oh, for Magicka, that's right.
Yeah.
Depending on how much Magicka you have, you get
An extra
another conjured something.
Yep. So I'm up to 3 right now.
Okay.
So I got to be closing in on 4. I got to be close because I've put every single thing into Magicka.
Yeah, and I mean, for that type of character, if you're just conjuring up stuff, you are going to stand in the back and just let your people do what they're going to do.
Yeah,
So you don't need to put into anything else.
Yeah, I don't really need the stamina. I mean, once in a while I'll run in a short burst just in case something's shooting at me or something.
That works great until you get into one of those places like in Shroudharf Barrow where you go through that gate and it closes behind you.
And then you're dead. Yeah.
You're all alone in there.
Yep. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true. Well, then you start conjuring really fast.
Yeah. And your Magicka's up high enough where you can conjure many things at once.
Yeah. It doesn't even make a dent when I'm conjuring stuff right now, so I don't worry too much.
Robes that help with that as well, right?
Yeah, I have the archmages.
Okay.
And but I also have like some rings. I think I have a ring that's something with conjuration on it.
Yeah, I think you can get it to the point where you don't use any Magicka to conjure stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting. I mean, I use some, but my magic is so high anyway, it doesn't really matter.
What's the magic at?
Oh God, I gotta be closing in. I just closed it up, but I gotta be closing in on 600 with perks. Or not with perks, with enchantments.
Yeah.
But I gotta be close to 500 vanilla.
Okay, so for that perk, can you also have like jewelry that adds to your Magicka, or is it just
no? It's just the base. Yeah, the base.
Okay.
So that's why I'm only that's why I only have 3, because I must be below whatever the threshold is to have a 4th one.
I wonder if you could change the threshold.
Yeah.
For every 100 points.
Yeah. Just conjure 50 things at once. And then have it blow up like Andrew's PlayStation almost did with that ritual stone.
It was amazing how slow that got.
Oh my God, that had to be like a frame every 20 seconds or something.
Well, it's impressive that it didn't just crash.
I am surprised it kept running, actually.
Yeah, it sat there and just kept cranking away.
He somehow made it through. That is amazing. He was raising whole towns.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of killing and a lot of dragging people around.
Yeah. Well, the reach of that stone, the ritual stone, is huge. Because I was reading that I was watching a video where the guy said you could go into what is it, Shroud Hearth Barrow up on the hill, kill everything, and then travel back to the middle of it, and you could resurrect everything in there.
Oh my God.
So that's how big the reach of that skill is, or you
Holy
know.
cow.
Yeah, because you could probably walk into the middle of Markarth and just resurrect everything. Because I think Markarth seems to have the most guards I've ever seen
Oh yes.
in any of the towns.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have to accidentally fight them, there's a lot.
Yeah,
They come out of everywhere.
yeah, and because I've even been up to the all the way up to the top to their the guard barracks,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
there's a bunch of them in there. It's amazing. I mean, I when I was escaping with the
Oh, with the Forsworn?
yeah, with the Forsworn, I mean, there was just dead bodies all over the place, and there were still guards going around the town afterwards.
Yeah, there is a lot in it's got to be the most of anywhere.
I think so, yeah, because you can't break the law there, and if you're not powerful enough, you're gonna get killed.
Yeah, there's no stopping the battle. It's just never ending. Whereas
Yeah,
Whiterun, it'll slow down. Even Solitude will slow down.
yeah. Winterhold has like two.
Yeah, there's nobody in Winterhold.
That's why it took me forever to get my my
Oh,
bounty up to 1,000 there.
yeah, where you're getting 1,000 in each reach.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's just not enough people to kill.
exactly. Because I I would kill one, the other one would follow me. I'd kill them, and then I had zero bounty again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because then it would
There was
wipe
no
away.
witnesses.
Yeah, no witnesses, so your bounty got wiped away. Yep.
Yeah, I think the way I ended up doing it was I ran into the Jarl's house, or the main um whatever they call it, and I attacked the guard in there, ran outside, everybody else ran, and so I couldn't kill the Jarl, and I killed the guards, and then I ran for my life, and after that I got the achievement for the about $1,000 gold bounty in
In
every
every
hold.
hold. That's good.
Yeah, because that place and Falkreath were the two toughest places to actually do it.
Yeah, not a lot of guards in either of those places. That's
Yeah.
true.
They have to be concurrent bounties, or can you have them cleared? As long as you've gotten to 1,000 in each one, or do you have to have them all at once?
All at once.
Yeah, it's all at once. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fun achievement to get.
Yeah. I think Andrew got it.
Yeah, I think he got it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He had a higher bounty than probably gold that he had in his.
Oh, I can only imagine what his bounty was. I can only
I remember
imagine.
on the round table he was saying it was like in one of them he had like 20,000 gold.
Oh my God!
So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Just strip down, go to jail, wait it out.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst part is when you get arrested, you only get one lockpick,
Yep.
and you're doing expert level locks.
Yeah. So unless you're really, really high level lockpicking.
Yeah, it's tough. I normally I save right before I try to pick the lock.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, because I did it in Whiterun, and I was sitting there trying to open up a door, and underneath, and then you go through the door, and I was like, oh, there's a staircase here. I went up the staircase, and it took me back to where I started. I'm like, really? I could have
Jesus.
walked around this locked door.
It took you right back around. Oh
Yeah.
man.
So I went back to my previous save and just went around because I want this lock pick to be as fresh as possible when I try to get my stuff. And then I found that in Whiterun you exit down below, and then you have to go all the way up to the top to try to get your try to get all your stuff back. And once you enter in there, nobody attacks you or anything. And then I went to go get my stuff, and all of a sudden I got attacked and killed. And I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna do this anymore. So I went back to the save before I got caught, and just went from there because I'm like, it was just too much work, and I really wanted all my stuff back.
Yeah, you just really wanted everything. Oh man.
Yeah, because the white one run that just seems to be the toughest one. I got arrested and went to jail in which one is it? Um, I think it's up in by the Blue Tower. What is that? Solitude. In Solitude, that one is actually really not too bad because you escape through the wall, and you go down, and then through a little crevice in the wall, you can the storage locker, the storage chest is in there with all your stuff. So you pick that lock, you get all your stuff, and then you escape, and you're free and clear. You don't have to. You just kind of hide from the guards a little bit, and that
Huh.
makes it a little bit nicer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad. I think I've escaped. Isn't there also an achievement for escaping from everywhere?
I know that. I think there's one for just escaping once.
Is it one? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. That would be fun though if you had to escape from every single one.
Yeah. If you
Wasn't
had
it
to...
wasn't it Vipper that said that was his thing? He would get arrested and do like a murder or whatever and then escape, or there was like something that the with him where that's how he got so good at lockpicking is because he would get himself arrested intentionally.
That's true. You would get pretty good at it if you just constantly broke out of prison.
Yeah.
Since they're all higher level locks.
Right. I think most of them are expert.
Yeah. So yeah, you would definitely level up, and you would have to. You wouldn't really have you wouldn't really have much of a choice. You'd have to get out.
Right. It gives them an interesting backstory.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I'm just looking at the achievements and the ones that I haven't done. I'm surprised I haven't crafted anything out of Stahlroom.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I haven't found all 13 standing stones either. That's weird.
Oh wow. Oh, I forgot that was one too. Yeah, I don't have a lot of the achievements on PC because I haven't really. I did all those on Xbox and then didn't really worry about it on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crafting with Starum is a little tricky though, because you have to go up the heavy armor side.
Yeah, you have to have ebony, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have to do all the quests for that groups before the smith will actually give you the secret on how to forge with it.
Right. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I remember I did do it in the past, but I haven't done it with this new one at all. With any of the ones on PC at all. I don't have very many of the achievements at all. The one I never got, even on Xbox, was dragon riding.
Yeah, I was looking at that. There's no way I'm going to bother with that.
Yeah, that's why I never got it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you ride one and you're just like, okay, I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
again.
I don't ever want to do it again. Yeah, exactly.
Dumb.
And then you sit there and you forget, and you're like, oh, I haven't done this achievement. Let's try it. Okay, yeah, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't gotten it.
Yes, that is exactly why I didn't get it, because it was just like, all right, this is really boring.
Yeah, and I think you actually have to travel a certain distance, and a lot of times.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and then a lot of times those dragons are such a pain because you can use the shout on them, and then they'll go land like on top of a mountain.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
They
don't like land.
Area.
Yeah, they're not landing anywhere nearby that you can. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I wonder if you should do like Dragon Rend and then wait for that to go and then hit them again. But even then, by the time your shouts regenerate, it's already time for them to take off.
Dragon Rend, you do have time. It regenerates pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't know what the cooldown for that is, but
yeah,
it's not that long.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. They're usually still on the ground when you're able to use it again.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Well, I guess it depends at point you hit them, because sometimes sometimes it'll take them a while to come down.
Oh
But I
yeah,
remember
it
that
does.
um, I would have probably another 3 to 5 seconds before they would be ready to take off again.
Hmm.
So I always hit them with Dragon Rend as soon as it regenerated, just so that
Yeah,
they wouldn't
just to be safe.
fly
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, because it does regenerate relatively quickly compared to a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, I think if you have that thing that you get from Mirac,
Oh yeah.
then because there's a shout that makes your shout meter regenerate faster, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And there's
Dragon
Ordainer has
Aspect.
some perks for that too, doesn't it?
Yeah. That sounds right. You'd probably know a little bit better than I would on that. Um, Dragon Aspect, I think, is the one that does it though.
Oh, that yeah. When you do the dragon aspect shout, then that allows you to it regenerates your shouts faster.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'd forgotten about that. It's been a while since I went through and fought Mirac.
Yeah, I got to build my character a little bit before I start heading off in that direction.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
been to Solstheim yet. I might travel out there. It's been a while.
Solstheim is tough at low levels.
Yeah, I'm not Colin. I can't do that.
Yeah. Oh god, it is really hard at low levels.
Well, I did a the Start Another Life where you get attacked by bandits and you're just left on the side of the road. And twice I ended up in Solstheim. I was
Really?
like, yeah.
That's wild because I've used that start a couple times, maybe 3 or 4 times myself, and I never ended up in Solstheim. I think it's usually either way out by Dayspring Canyon there, near Riften, or there's one other spot I can't remember. But yeah, I've never. That's cool. I should try that sometime.
Yeah, and actually the worst part about it was I ended up like actually, you know what? No, one time I ended up I ended up there with where you're attacked by bandits, and the other time I started as it's a dark elf, like this. It's a you start as a dark elf,
Uh-huh.
and you start right there in Solstheim.
Okay.
Yeah, and think I think you have to reach level 10 or something before you can actually exit the island too.
Really?
Yeah, well, I think I wasn't fast traveling at that time.
Oh.
So the only way I could have done it was to talk to the boat captain, and he wouldn't talk to me until the
Until Dragonborn triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when he finally would talk to me, and I was able to just pay him to take me to the mainland.
Interesting.
But yeah, at the sub 10 levels, I mean you're hiding and just because everything is like really powerful there.
Yeah.
You can get some really nice armor, pretty high level armor there because you get the bone mold and all that. But it's tough going.
Yeah, I haven't
And I
gone
think I
there
was
in low
playing
levels
on
in a while.
yeah. Yeah, I think I was playing on expert at the time also, so it wasn't easy.
I need to do a little legendary Dead is Dead again. Just start one up. That's always fun to see how far you get.
Yeah, that's hardcore. Doing a legendary Dead is Dead.
Especially with the alt start where you can just end up at the weirdest places.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, Victor.
Yes.
You said your last character you went ahead and did the vanilla start.
This one I'm doing now, yeah, I did. Yep.
Okay. Did you use Start Another Life for that, or did you just go ahead and start without?
I have that mod in my base load order for all my games, so it's there, but I did not use it. So yeah, you can tell it to start you at the vanilla start.
Okay, because I did the I tried to start one just with from the vanilla start,
Mhm.
and the cart would just start spinning.
Oh, that's actually a fairly common little bug, and
Yeah.
all it means is that you need to deactivate a couple of those mods until you've reached Helgen, and you can do it. You can reactivate them after you exit the cave, but I think you can also reactivate them once Alduin is attacked and you've saved for the first time or whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
'cause
all it is. It's a fairly common little bug. It happens sometimes when you have Helgen Reborn loaded
Mm.
or stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, what I ended up doing is I went through Start Another Life. I actually put Start Another Life again,
Uh-huh.
and then you appear in that cell, and then you select it, and then I just selected the vanilla start, and
Right.
then it started perfectly.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I've also done it the other way and just loaded it afterwards. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense having it in there if you're using if you're going for the vanilla start, but it
Yeah,
adds a couple of things. For instance, it adds a little farm. It adds two farms, I think. One, well, now I think about it, I'm not sure if it's part of the vanilla game or not. But there's a farm right outside of Rorikstead that I think it adds, and it also adds a farm right near Dragon Bridge.
okay.
And the one near Dragon Bridge is the one that you appear. Well, it's those two farms, I think, are the two alternates that you can appear in if you choose the option of starting life as a farmer.
Okay.
Yeah, and it adds a couple of other locations because I know there's some patches for it with other mods that add other locations, so they don't like have train wrecks. But yeah, so. But yeah, that whippy cart thing is pretty common. You'll find if you look at this Skyrim Nexus mods or Reddit, every other day somebody pops up, what's going on? And everybody is a collective giant yawn for all the people who've seen that question about 50,000 times.
Yeah. Well, I saw it and I'm like, okay, I can't be the only person that had this issue. So
No.
I went ahead and just looked it up instead of just automatically asking for help.
Right. Good for you.
Yeah, because it's like it annoys me when it's like, because I mean, if I go and do a little research and I don't find anything, okay, then I go and ask the experts. Other than that, it's like people have been playing these games for so long and they've done all this stuff. Somebody's had to have this
Somebody's
issue.
come across it, yeah.
Somebody knows how to fix it. And I tried removing all of my mods and everything and waiting until and it would still do it. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and start another life again and just start the vanilla start, and then that fixed it. And I'm like, okay, having that mod in there and just doing that little extra step is not a big deal. So
No, not at all.
I was okay with that.
Yeah. I actually like the most common start for me with Live Another Life is actually using the I want to get out of this prison choice, which gives you some lockpicks and you just get out of that cell that you start the game in, which is kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is you always start in the same cell? Is it the one that's under the bridge?
Yeah, it's the abandoned prison that's part of that.
Right. And you have to fight all the ghosts.
Yeah, but if you're using, if you also have interesting NPCs loaded, interesting NPCs puts a ghost in there who is actually somewhat friendly. He's part of another quest, one of interesting NPC's quest lines. So if he's in there, you can kite all the ghosts over to him and he'll kill them for you.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So
because those ghosts are tough.
They are. You got to run away a lot. Yep.
And then you run up the hill to Fort Amol, get the bound bow, and
right. Well, yeah, but first you get killed by necromancers or whatever 50,000 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as you step in the door, you're dead.
Yeah. or because from there aren't any really, when you come out of there, there's Fort Amol, and then up the hill the other direction is the Bertram Tower or whatever it is.
Yep.
You're gonna die there too if you're like level 1.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go across either of those places at low levels. No.
Yeah. So
I mean, you could try going to Windhelm or Winterhold.
Yeah.
Riften, you have no shot.
Yeah. No, not at all. Yeah. Yeah. Too many bears and wolves going up that way.
And spiders.
Yeah, and spiders.
I hate spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the spiders throw stuff at you or spit stuff at you, so they have those distance attacks.
It's funny. I just noticed today that they also drool as they're running along.
Oh yeah, they do, don't they?
They drool twice. I just today I noticed that. It was like first time I've ever seen that.
There you go, on. You could get all the frostbite venom, and then stick that in somebody's pocket. You'd probably need like 100 of them to kill somebody.
Yeah.
But
actually, I like the frostbite venom for the pouches because it gives you a dark. Pouch.
Right. Yep, you can dye the leather. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the dark pouch. It matches with the Dark Brotherhood pouches that I get off of the dead bodies there too.
Oh, nice.
Right. Yeah, that mod adds those to the level list, doesn't it? So all the assassins have those pouches.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those pouches are actually really nice, but I just keep getting attacked by the Dark Brotherhood. I don't know why. I mean, I know it's part of the vanilla game where just all of a sudden the Dark Brotherhood starts attacking you.
It does happen, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what triggers it, but
yeah. I'm
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that I when I stole the sword from Dragon's Reach.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? The mage. He didn't send the Dark Brotherhood. He sent some mercenaries, thugs after me.
Thugs.
So I'm just like, thugs. Yeah, so I'm just like, so who is sending these out? It just says the contract has been made and the money's been sent. Somebody wants this poor bastard dead or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's just a gimmick in the game to get you to search out the Dark Brotherhood. That's all. I don't think
it has to be.
Actually do. I think it just triggers at some point.
Yeah, because I know I had to make a choice early on my first playthrough whether I wanted to join them or not. And I was like, oh, the Dark Brotherhood. Oh, well, you know what? I went through and killed them all. And then that was the end of the Dark Brotherhood, and I know wasn't able to do it again on my first playthrough. I'm like, oh, I like the Dark Brotherhood and Oblivion.
And now they're all dead.
Yeah. Because I think we've always discussed that in Oblivion, the Dark Brotherhood is probably one of the most fun quests that there was.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is.
There's just so many twists and turns in that story.
I think I'm still in the middle of it on that other playthrough I was doing. I'll have to pop that open again sometime.
Yeah. And I like the option of accidental deaths.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I think you only get that option once in Skyrim.
Is it the princess where you push the thing over or something?
Yeah. Is she a princess or duchess
or whatever she is?
Yeah,
she's getting married at Duar, the castle there.
Yeah, I never knew you had that option to push over that big old rock.
But they all know you're doing it anyway, so
that's right. No matter how sneaky you are.
Yeah, it's annoying that I mean, if your sneak is up high enough and you just kind of push over the stone and there's nobody around, how do they know?
They're psychic.
They've been tipped off.
I guess it's kind of like the same way that the Jarl of Farkreath knows about all the stuff that you've done and he wants you to help him out.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Maybe they have one of those. What's the orb in Lord of the Rings? Where,
the Palantir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that marathon was on today.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You don't want to look into that orb though, because somebody's going to be looking back at you.
Yeah. So yeah.
Not somebody that you like.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's the only problem with that. You're not just saying
Yeah.
So was that a 12-hour marathon of Lord of the
I
Rings?
think so. It's got to be pretty close.
Yeah, because
God,
I know I have all the uncut versions, and it's I
Yeah,
want
so
to
do
say
we. Yeah.
almost 10 hours.
Oh, yeah, for
yeah,
just the first
without the
three.
Hobbit,
Yeah.
even.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without the Hobbit, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, you throw in the Hobbit, and you're looking at almost 24 hours.
yeah,
Yeah, the first three uncut have to be 12 hours.
Yeah, because I think one of them is like 3.5 hours, and then the other two are like 3 hours or
Is
something
that
like
what it
that.
is? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
because I know I made my wife. Well, then we were actually just starting to date, and we went to Vegas, and on the way to Vegas, and then on the way down to uh, where did we go? We went to Phoenix. She basically I hooked up the surround the DVD player to my car stereo, and she sat there and she was watching movies all the way down through the driving and everything. And I kind of made her watch all the Lord of the Ring movies. She
There
really
you go.
enjoyed them, so that was good.
Well, that worked out good. There you go.
Yeah, because this was before we were married, and we're married now, so I don't think I did too much wrong.
Yeah, well, if you survive that, then. Oh, God. Alrighty, guys. I guess we can wrap it up.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I have some feedback from Dave that I'll add in after this. He's back to
Cool.
Skyrim,
Okay.
Nice.
like the rest of us.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do some ESO as well pretty soon.
Well, this week I got to get back to Fallout 4 so I can, because Roundtable's next weekend. So
Oh, is it next weekend already?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the only thing I have for that character is just work on my settlement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I played a little Fallout this week. Not much. Mostly went back to Skyrim, and I didn't play much. I played a little Minecraft early in the week again, but I was sick all week, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
it
that
was
sucks.
not a
Yeah,
fun
I just
week.
wish I could get Oblivion to work properly on my PC. I'm gonna have to just do keyboard and mouse.
Oh, did
'Cause
you get the? Did I send you the Joy-to-Key thing?
yeah, I got it, and just for some reason, the way it works with the controller is I have to be moving the left stick
Mm-hmm.
in order for him to like move forward. So it kind of moves like in a zigzag motion. I'm just
Oh,
like,
really?
so I gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong so that I can play that game because
I'm
that's one of my favorite games.
Yeah, I think
It's
my
really
controller was working fine last I used it, but I'll open it up again and give it a run.
yeah because I used that um the file that you sent me, and
Mm-hmm.
it was still doing it. So I don't know if my settings are wrong. I'm gonna have to do a little more research so I
Yeah,
can
I'll have
play
to
that
look and see
game.
what my settings are too, because there was like the the file, and then you could like adjust some settings on it too. So I don't know. I have to look at it. It's been a little while since I opened Joy-to-Key,
Yeah.
but I think I was pretty sure I wasn't. Yeah, I was running pretty cleanly.
No, I mean I remember watching your Let's Play videos, and they do look really nice, and that's what motivated me to actually purchase it. And then I haven't been able to get it. I even bought a new Xbox controller for PC,
Oh yeah,
and that doesn't seem to work as well.
huh?
I'm almost thinking I may have to purchase a Steam controller.
And see if
Ooh,
that.
no, don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not from the reviews I've read of that thing. No.
Okay, because one of the guys at one of the shops that I went to was telling me that the Steam controller seems to work really well for games. So I don't
Oh,
know.
well, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was going on the assumption that because it's made by Steam and the games are offered by Steam that it's gonna work. But
That may not be true. It's just more like the design of it. I think people. I haven't heard a whole lot of good things. I have a Steam
yeah,
Link, the thing that allows you to stream your PC through your TV. That works seamlessly. That's very good.
Oh, okay.
okay,
But the
yeah,
controller, no. I haven't heard many good things about that.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
I like the Xbox controller just because it's really comfortable and
It is, yeah.
it's what I've been playing with for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the placement of the D-pad and the sticks better than the PS4, but
Yeah, I know Andrew took a while to get used to the Xbox controller because he's always done the PlayStation.
Yeah, the PlayStation. Yeah.
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 So,
But
well,
yeah,
until I get used
I'd love to watch some of your Let's Plays, at least on Oblivion, just if nothing else, to live vicariously through you.
To play, yeah, to see Oblivion again. I think I'm in the middle of the Dark Brotherhood is where I left off.
All right, yeah, that's cool, nice.
I'm trying to remember, yeah. It's been a while since I opened it up. And I'm always like, ooh, it's sitting right there. Let me just click on it. But I think I might actually do that this time.
Are you running it through Mod Organizer or just?
No, I'm just running it vanilla.
Okay.
Because I just
I don't
want
think you can use Mod Organizer with Oblivion. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there was like a whole other way of I don't know. I think there was maybe a Gopher video on it or something.
Yeah, well, I set it up so that I could do it, and I can run Mod Organizer through it. I wonder if that's the issue that I'm having, though.
That could be. I'm running it
to,
just vanilla, so
I might give that a shot then. Just maybe just get rid of the Mod Organizer I have for that, and then see what happens. Because I don't think I'm running any mods for it, anyways.
Yeah, neither am I. I mean, I just played the game because I wanted to go back and just replay it as it was before adding anything to it. So that may be the difference.
It's available on the Oblivion Nexus, so I guess it is. I just never thought about that. Used Nexus Mod Manager for my Oblivion modded Oblivion anyway. But that was a long time ago.
I'm not running any mods on Oblivion yet, so I might just have to run it straight through.
That's the only way I can play the damn game. I have to have a mod that changes the faces. I freaking hate this. I've said it so many times, but it's just like they're awful.
Yeah, they are. It's a rough look.
You don't like the Shrek orcs?
Yeah,
jeez.
They are.
Everybody has a potato face.
Oh man, that is so true.
The orcs just always remind me of Shrek.
Yeah, they are. They basically are Shrek.
They definitely are.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, guys.
Alrighty.
All right.
That's been some Skyrim. What is this show? A Skyrim Addict. That's it. I've been so out of it this past week, feeling like crap. And we went curling last night. So
yeah, I saw your pictures. That's very cool.
That was pretty fun. It wasn't great for my stomach, which is all messed up. So squatting down like that wasn't the optimal thing. That wasn't really optimal at that point, but it was fun nonetheless.
Yeah, I remember one of the groups in the company I used to work for. They did an outing where they went to do some curling, and it definitely looked like a good time. And it was something out of the norm because we work for a golf company and they went curling. So it was nice, I guess, to not do golf.
That's true, a different type of outing.
Yeah,
it was definitely more. It was harder than I thought. I thought it would be.
Yeah. How are your abs feeling?
Not bad, not bad. I've been running and stuff recently, so I've been okay with that. But I did get a cramp in my calf the first time I pushed off. So I'm sliding down the ice with my leg behind me, and my calf is like cramping up, and I'm like, ah!
God.
That was the only injury, I guess. Was my calf cramp on the first push off.
Wow.
But it's hard to get that thing down the ice as fast as you would like,
Yeah, it's not an Olympic sport for nothing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, sweeping can it's work.
Yeah.
Sweeping.
Yeah, at where I used to work, one of the executives was actually on the gold medal team for Canada. In I think 90. I want to say was it 92 or 90?
Wow.
When we played in LA.
Wow.
So he's an older guy, but yeah, he was a gold medalist in curling.
Holy cow!
which our CEO went on to just keep giving him a hard time that it wasn't really a sport.
The sweeping, I will say, was tough, but I'll just say it wasn't the most athletic crowd that was there last night. So, including
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sports you sit there and say, "Oh, that's really easy. You don't really need to be in shape." I mean, because you look at badminton and you're just like, whatever. And once you start playing, I mean, you're bathed in sweat by the end of by the end of the match.
Exactly. Yeah, especially if you're playing at some high level or something. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I try to tell people about bowling, but it's just a lie.
Yeah, I've watched bowling. I've never actually done it. Where I grew up, there wasn't a bowling alley.
Oh no!
No.
Wow. There used to be so many around here. It's kind of faded away a bit, but
when I moved to North County, San Diego, that's where all the bowling alleys are. And I mean, they're in the East County and North County, but where I grew up, it's like Del Mar, Solana Beach,
okay.
Encinitas. There's none of that. La Jolla, there's no bowling
Oh,
alleys.
yeah.
Or La Jolla, as we
La Jolla. Yeah, La Jolla. Oh man. Alrighty. Well, that's been bowling and curling talk for today.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. We're back.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, and happy Skyrimming.
Thank you, Juan.
So I have some feedback here from Dave. I believe he's back in Skyrim. Yes, back in Skyrim. But his laptop's not good for that, so he may be jumping into Oblivion or Morrowind. That would be cool. I know Juan and I were talking about hopping into Oblivion. So, here is a continuation of Makachia, who is McBeta's brother, and she's searching for her brother in Skyrim. Of course, he was taken by someone over to ESO land, and so that's where he's at. In case you have forgotten, or you're just starting to listen, or whatever. But it's an ongoing saga of the two characters, a brother and sister, and Makachia is the one left behind in Skyrim. So I had left Dawnstar after sorting out a few new assassinations for the Dark Brotherhood, and literally ran into a Stormcloak carrier just south of the city. Lydia and the girls were now back in Whiterun, and I was on my own for the first time in weeks. I really wasn't paying full attention as I ran down the road in the swirling snow, part blinded. I was losing my grip, I thought to myself. I really need to get back in training. Normally I would have ignored the man, but he was quite offensive, demanding I move out of his way and tried to push me aside. I hit him with an unrelenting force shout, which smashed him up against a tree, unfortunately killed him. Manners cost nothing, and ill manners can often have consequences, as he found out. I also have a short fuse with ill-mannered louts. I need to get more control. Not professional, I chided myself. I discovered he was carrying some interesting documents, so I fast-traveled to talk with Legate Rika. She was a Nord contact I knew in the Legion, who was currently based at the Pale Imperial camp, which was just east of my house at Winstead Manor. Rika read it and then made some changes to the messages. She asked if I could now deliver them to the Stormcloak commander in Dawnstar. They hopefully would set up a trap at Fort Dunstad, which was currently being held by the Stormcloak, she said. I shrugged and agreed, as Rika seemed to want to treat me as a regular member of the Legion rather than what was normal for a hidebound legionary. She knew I had abilities beyond those found in the Legion. I headed back into Dawnstar and straight up to Jarl's Hall to hand the documents over to Frokmar Bannertorn, the Stormcloak commander in the Pale. He just asked why I wasn't in uniform, and I said it was easier to get through enemy lines. He nodded as though it was a good idea, and then said I should change into uniform before coming to see him in the future. He seemed pleased with the revised documents. Gods preserve us. While I waited and pretended to see if there was a reply. I overheard the Jarl Skald berating two old, obviously retired legionnaires, one of whom still wears Legion armor. The obviously old, outdated armor gleamed even in poor light of the hall. Typical old soldier type who still hadn't broken the habits of a lifetime in the army. Gods, we need to get rid of these bloody stormcloaks, I thought, not for the first time. No message to go back, so I headed out and headed back towards the inn. I was eating when Madonna and Jarl's Breton court wizard, Medana, the Jarl's Breton court wizard, came in and looked at me curiously and asked how I was. She only knew me as a mage from the college in Winterhold. I remembered a lot about her. I knew she wasn't happy about the Jarl's insistence on the absolute insistence of siding with the Stormcloaks in his hold. She just wanted nothing to do with war. She was a gentle soul, and having been through the Great War, was damaged by her experiences. Her considerable skills in destructive magic were used to destroy so many Thalmor soldiers. She had vowed to never use destructive magic again. I sometimes worried about her sanity, to be honest. Over a mug of mead, she suddenly asked me if I could look in on Silas I completely screwed up the name. Sorry about that. I could look in on and talk to Silas Vesulius at the Dawn Star Museum. I always mess up that dude's name. She told me she was worried he was planning on going to the shrine of Mehrunes Dagon to get Mehrunes' razor remade. Apparently he had all the pieces and had spent the family fortune seeking them out. I reluctantly agreed and went to see the man. The museum was his house and was a shrine to the mythic Dawn, the cult which toppled the Septim dynasty. He was seemingly a descendant of one of the founders of the mythic Dawn, and he wasn't home. This niggled me. The ashes in the fire pit were cold, gone for some little time to my mind. At least a day, if what Madonna told me was accurate. I had been near to the shrine of Mehrunes Dagon before on imperial business to the Hall of the Vigilance, so I was able to fast travel there first, and then headed up the hill behind the hall and up on the steps of the shrine. I found the silly bugger on his knees in front of the shrine, pleading with Dagon to remake the razor. Sithis preserve us. He asked me to intervene with Mehrunes Dagon. I needed to speak with the Daedric Lord, so I agreed and laid my hands upon the shrine. Mehrunes Dagon was not pleased at being accosted at his shrine. He said I was a better mortal to talk to him if the razor was to be remade. I think Mehrunes Dagon is another of the less than intelligent Daedric princes, but less devious, unlike most of the others. He said if I was to get it remade, then all I needed to do was kill Silas as his blood was needed for the process. Gods, that was a surprise. Not. Why do these Daedric princes always need someone to die? Silas begged for his life and said he would take the pieces and put them away safely in the museum. He offered me gold to let him go. Sithis preserved me from another dense human. I just looked at him for a minute, wondering if I should put him out of his misery. I turned to face the shrine again and speak when Silas shouted that he would rather die fighting and attacked me. Gods above, he had no skills whatsoever and died almost instantly from my hand. Mehrunes Dagon laughed and then called up a couple of Dremora near the top of the steps to the shrine. A final test, he sniggered at me. I let rip with an unrelenting force shout, and they spun off into the darkness to the bottom of the steps, which was a long way down. I called upon my trusty fire attract and waited beside the shrine. Up they came, looking slightly worse for the wear. I had pulled out Dawnbreaker and had ready to fire a bolt in my left hand. The first fell The first fell to my Atronach, the second to my Firebolts and Dawnbreaker fairly quickly. I had checked the corpses and found a key along with the Daedra hearts which I had ripped from their bodies. Useful if messy ingredients for alchemy. The razor was now lying on the shrine, complete and almost pristine in appearance. I wondered what its secrets were, I thought, as I put it in my pack. Now, about my brother, I asked Mehrunes Dagon, whose image still hovered over the shrine. He mocked me and said if he had my brother, he was enjoying the hells of oblivion. Who is he? The bloody Daedric idiot lord asked. I shouted at Dagon, who is he? You were quick to threaten him with oblivion, and you don't know who the hell he is? I lapsed into native Dunmer and cursed at the image. Iman bi dialed ya ijit. I snarled, the Dragonborn does not take kindly to your threats. You should see that from the way I dealt with your minions. Mehrunes Dagon suddenly admitted he didn't know of Beta and apologized for attempting to threaten a brother of the Dragonborn. I dismissed him with a gesture and went to investigate the door behind the shrine. It led to an icy cave which opened up into a chamber with a couple of Dremora, who immediately attacked me. Sithis preserve us again. Is this Daedric prince really so dense to try and stop me again? Again, an unrelenting force shout threw them back against the wall of the chamber with a couple of loud thuds. This gave me plenty of time to cast my Fire Atronach and pull out Dawnbreaker, and then ready my Firebolt spell. I was now really angry, and the two Dremora were given a lesson in how an assassin can kill with speed and ferocity. Another 2 Daedra hearts for me to rip from their bodies. The place was a small treasure house, and I looted it completely, leaving nothing in that place. I went back to the shrine, called to Mehrunes Dagon once more. His ugly image appeared above the shrine. I said, someone with ability will be back here often and regularly to make sure this place is always empty. Any offerings made here will be removed or despoiled by Sithis. I snarled, you will find out which of your Daedric lords has taken my brother, and you will tell me through the Night Mother of my lord Sithis. If you don't, then I will first visit on you what I did to the bastard Daedric prince who took my brother. By Sithis, I swear I will rid this bloody world of any worshipper of yours, and if I have to, complete the Black Sacrament on you myself. That way the Dark Brotherhood will hunt your worshippers down and kill them. Your influence will wither, and you will die, starved of worship. The Night Mother will tell me who and where they are, and I will harvest their souls for my lord Sithis. He will approve of that, I'm sure. That is what I will visit on you if you do tell me who the prince is. I am the Dragonborn, and normal rules do not apply for me. I make my own way in this world. If I choose to declare war on you first, it is because I can. Mehrunes Dagon screamed, wait. I will find out. Wait. The image shimmered and disappeared. So, just a blustering bully as I suspected. Stupid too. Sithis would never agree to that, but Mehrunes Dagon didn't know that. I settled down and waited. So that is the latest update from Makachia. So it sounds like she's on the road to finding out where McBeta is. That'll be interesting to find out what happens when that comes down. Alrighty, so that's been Skyrim Addict for this week. Thanks for listening. You can check out our other shows, the Chatterbox, Fallout feed over at asapodcasting.com. And as always, you can join the Facebook group or follow on Twitter at a Skyrim Addict at the Fallout feed. Also, I think I'm on Instagram. I was going to post some image screenshots today. They didn't come out the way I liked, so I didn't post them. And that's Skyrim Addict Podcast on Instagram. And I think that's all I got. So, if you have a moment, leave a review. That'd be great. Or just tell people about it. That'd be awesome, too. All right. Later, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of A Skyrim Addict. You can find all of our contact information, YouTube channel information, as well as other shows over at asapodcasting.com, including our newest show, The Fallout Feed. Special thanks to Claire LaFar for the show's artwork. You can find her stuff at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFirePrints. And a thank you to Dan Bull for the use of his music in the Roundtable Open and Close. You can find him on YouTube or iTunes. Just search Dan Bull. Once again, thanks for listening, and later, everyone.